say, when a man becomes desperate enough, he stops fearing what should terrify him. But no one ever tells you what happens to the price of success is a life you love. In a small African town, there was once a young man, full of dreams, full of hope, until one decision destroyed everything. His name was Henry. The sun was setting the day Henry returned home after completing his youth service. The road was quiet, dust rising gently with each step he took. From afar, a small figure ran toward him. "Brother Henry!" It was Abigail, his younger sister, her voice filled with pure joy. Henry dropped his bag and caught her in a tight embrace, smiling for the first time in weeks. But when he looked up, he saw his mother, Mrs. Peter, standing at the door, smiling yet tired. That smile told a story words could not explain.
That night, Henry lay awake, staring at the cracked ceiling. Nothing had changed. The same leaking roof, the same empty kitchen, the same silent struggle. Poverty had not waited for him to succeed. It had only waited for him to return. He clenched his fist and whispered, "I will change this, no matter what." The next morning, Henry stepped out with hope, CV in hand, dreams in his chest. But the world outside was not kind. "Sorry, we'll get back to you. You don't have enough experience." No vacancy. Day after day, rejection after rejection. Hope slowly began to fade.
With no job, Henry turned to anything he could find, carrying goods in the market, running errands, doing small, exhausting jobs. At the end of each day, he would place a few crumpled notes into his mother's hand. "Manage this, Mama." And she would smile, even when it wasn't enough. One night, she sat beside him. "My son," Mrs. Peter said softly, "there is hope for a tree that is cut down. It will grow again." Henry looked at her. He wanted to believe her. But outside, the world was louder than hope. Everywhere he went, he saw them. His old classmates, boys who once struggled like him, now driving expensive cars, wearing designer clothes, living a life he could not understand. Each time he saw them, something inside him cracked. "Why not me?" he whispered. That question began to poison his heart. One afternoon, he met Williams, a friend who was still struggling, but somehow at peace. "Bro, calm down," Williams said. "Your time will come." Henry shook his head. "But look at them. They're already living the life." Williams looked him straight in the eyes. "Not everything you see is real. Don't rush your destiny." But Henry was no longer listening. One evening, after watching a flashy car speed past him, Henry made a choice. He followed them. The same boys, the same friends, now living a life he desperately wanted. "How are you making this kind of money?" he asked. They laughed at first. Then one of them stepped forward. "Are you ready to succeed?" Henry didn't think. "I am ready." At first, it felt like a miracle. Money began to flow. Not small money, big money. Food returned to the house. Laughter returned to Abigail. Relief returned to Mrs. Peter. Henry felt powerful. Finally, he had become someone. But deep down, something didn't feel right. Then, one day, the money stopped. No calls, no deals, no explanation. Panic took over. Henry rushed back to them. "What's happening?" he demanded. "Why has everything stopped?" This time, they did not smile. "There is something we didn't tell you," their leader said. Henry's heart began to race. "What is it?" he asked, his voice shaking. The man stepped closer. "For the money to continue," he paused, "you must sacrifice the one you love the most." Silence. The world froze. Henry's mind broke. His mother's face, Abigail's laughter, flashed through his head. "No, I can't," he cried. The man's voice turned cold. "You don't have a choice anymore. If you refuse, you will lose your mind." Henry staggered backward. That was the moment he realized he had made the biggest mistake of his life. Days passed. Henry refused to do it. But slowly, his mind began to slip away. He laughed at nothing, cried without reason, wandered the streets like a shadow of himself. People began to whisper, "Henry has gone mad." But they didn't know the truth. Life moved on. One day, a car stopped in the same street. A young man stepped out, clean, confident, successful. It was Williams. He had gotten a job, a good one, a manager in a big company. He looked ahead and saw Henry, broken, dirty, lost. Williams froze. Tears filled his eyes. This was not supposed to be your story. At home, Mrs. Peter cried every night. Abigail no longer laughed like before. And Henry was gone. Not dead, but lost forever. Sometimes, what looks like a delay is protection. Not every fast success is a blessing. Some shortcuts lead to destruction. Wait. Be patient. Because destiny rushed can become destiny destroyed.